Hi, my name is Moses and I'm from Xendit. At Xendit, we are simplifying payments for Southeast Asia. We helped merchants accept, send payments, hold money, and a bunch of other financial services and infrastructure for the next generation of startups in Southeast Asia. We picked this idea because we really like the idea of building infrastructure base for the next generation of startups and entrepreneurs starting. It's this chance to go change and set the new rules of the world in a digital world for our economies. And I think there's this small 5 to 10 year window where we can enact changes and put in the rules and set up how the world should work going forward. And I think that's exciting. Yes, Xendit was originally a peer-to-peer payments application before our current model. The pivot occurred because as I studied, we were growing fairly fast. We got to 200,000 users within 6 months on this peer-to-peer application. But I had a thesis based on when I studied other countries around the world that you really need auto debit or direct debit for e-wallets to really take off. Until then, e-wallets can grow because you can dump lots of money and billions of dollars into it, but you don't see the organic usage or the real organic usage take off until auto debit or direct debit arrives. So we pivoted out. And in choosing our next business, we had a small team of about 20 people, and we had two different ideas. One was more in the consumer space, and one was in the payments in the B2B world. And we just raced the two ideas. We said, okay, we have a month, and whoever wants to be on whatever team, you can join whichever team you want. But we're going to race, and whichever one has more traction, the whole team is then going to go behind. And so we raced these two ideas, and I think on the B2B payment side, there was only a couple of people working on it, whereas the consumer thing was a lot more interesting, had a lot more people working on it. But after a month, all the traction, well, there was more traction on the B2B side. So that's when we started doing what we do now, which is providing payments and a bunch of really clean APIs for customers to build their businesses on top of. For us, we have a pretty simple framework for building and testing new products. The framework is you can start a new business line, a new product line, but when you launch, it has to grow 30% every single month for about the first 18 to 24 months. Otherwise, we cancel the project. If we then zoom into actually how we start, we only build what we've heard demand for. So we go and talk to customers, and typically for us, it's 30 discussions, sales meetings that you need to have so that you know who your initial customers will be. And through that process, your idea changes quite a lot. Then it takes some time to build, or if we're in a regulated space, it takes even longer to get licenses. But then we build, and then we launch. We get those initial users that we interviewed to be our customers, and then we keep selling and finding customers, and then we're expecting ourselves to go 30% month on month on whatever that North Star metric looks like. I once got advice by our YC partner, Justin Kahn, who made Twitch and sold to Amazon for $1 billion. He said, I asked him, what does product market fit feel like? Because halfway doing YC, we were failing and we didn't have product market fit. So I asked him, what does it feel like? And he said, you'll know when you know. The feeling is intense. It's like drinking from a fire hose and you can't keep up. And I had no idea what that actually meant. Until 6 weeks later, we pivoted, we launched a new product, and I remember there was 1 week where we just couldn't keep up with the pace of signups. And there was all these things that I was doing manually in the back end because we didn't think we'd grow that fast. And I remember a week where I was just like pushing buttons and clicking things for like 20 hours a day, whilst my co-founders went and automated the systems. And so that's what product market fit felt like. Like we were selling so quickly, growing so quickly that our systems actually couldn't keep up. That's when you know your product market fit. Launch, it needs to grow 30% month on month. Otherwise, we will cancel the project, cancel the team, cancel the features. And the people don't necessarily disappear. I think good people can make wrong decisions, or we can make bad decisions, assumptions about the market. But things that we build are expected to grow 30% month on month from the beginning. For example, we just launched in the Philippines Q3, Q4 last year, and that's been growing more than 30% every single month since its launch. And it's pretty easy to do for the first year. It gets a little bit harder year 2, 3, 4, 5 to keep growing at that pace. And then the framework on speaking, before we build anything, any product, we have to go talk to customers first, find people who are already willing to sign on that dotted line, and then we go build. I think it's unique for Southeast Asia. It shouldn't be, but is unique for Southeast Asia. Going into, in the years leading up to the pandemic, we have been really big in travel and really big in lending, businesses and industries where we built really good use cases for our product suits them really well. And we always knew we had this concentration risk, but we didn't have time to go into new industries because we'd spent so much time serving existing customers. What the pandemic did was travel fell off a cliff, and then lending had its own credit crunch in Indonesia for different reasons. It gave us the opportunity, therefore, to go build new industries and diversify into new business lines, and that's really changed our perspective going forward. We now have less than 45% in travel and lending, and we have whole new industries that we didn't have: remittances, accounting software, point of sale systems, crypto, e-commerce, whole bunch of new industries that didn't exist a year ago. And that diversification has now been driving our growth. Our travel customers still haven't recovered in the same way, but we've been able to go back to all-time highs and keep growing at a really fast pace because of this new set of businesses which are growing quickly.